Welcome to Down South Drip. We have Bighead, the Dome Doctor, in the building. How you doing today, man?
I'm in the building, man. You already know what it is. Your boy, Bighead, the Dome Doctor. You heard me? Like, let's do it, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm obliged to be, the first one. You know what I'm saying? The first interview on Down South Drip. And, like I said, it's an honor, you heard me?
I appreciate you, man. Well, man, looking into you, I seen that you was born in 1978 in Detroit, Michigan. Can you speak about your upbringing in Detroit?
Sure. I was born in Detroit in the midst of drugs, where the cops hit the block and blistered thugs. So, pretty much it was like the crack epidemic hit as soon as I was able to remember the crack epidemic hit. So it was like I wasn't born in the crack epidemic, but like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years old, as soon as you're older to remember, it was the crack epidemic and it was struggling. It was like, it went from, trying to figure out what life was to stealing buckets of water from the people down the street, So some niggas ain't never stole a bucket of water. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Okay. Alright. Crack hit in the early 80s, man. Do you remember the way the community was before the crack epidemic? Because I know that you was real young out there in Detroit, but do you remember the way things was before crack hit and the changes that you seen after it hit?
Well, I kind of got like a first-hand experience because it must have hit in December, whenever it hit, because we went from a few gifts to no gifts.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was something because my mom would have, love and compassion and, the Christmas spirit during the day. But when night fall, we in the room crying, but we peeping through the key because we wondering how the presents keep disappearing. So we realized that it's mom. So it was like 2 different moms. In the daytime, she was like, I don't know what happened. I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then at night, my older siblings was trying to get me to understand this is what's going on. So that's how I knew it went from presents under the tree to no tree, just a deck of cards. For all 5 of us, 1 deck of cards. So that's what the crack epidemic did to my family in Detroit. But due to the fact we moved in Baton Rouge in 87, it hit Baton Rouge in 87. So it's like I went through it twice. So, it's like I had to live through the crack epidemic in Detroit in the snow, and then I had to live through it in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the hurricanes.
Okay.
So, it was cold and froze, and it was hot and sticky. 2 different crack epidemics, but, mom's made it through. She pulled me through. We made it through.
I got you. So, in Detroit, far as with your childhood, when you was going to school in Detroit, what kind of student you say you was in Detroit when you was going to school? Would you say you paid attention, you listened to what was going on, but you was still kind of messing up? Or would you say that you was just, basically bad as fuck?
Well, at first, I was good because I was right next to my sister, and she was good, like smart. So I wanted to be smart too. I was competitive, so I wanted to be smart like her. So I actually was catching her. So it was like, okay, she was in the second and I was in the first. So they was putting me in the second with her. So I was doing like half and half classes. Like me and her was making straight A's, both of us. But then, when the hungry pains and all that kicked in. Once I went to school to eat, I stopped going to learn. I couldn't go for both because it was like, you know, you got to pick because you either surviving in life or you learning at school. So it was all basically about surviving. So Detroit school was not even like real school to me. It was like elementary and kindergarten, first grade, you know, stuff like that. But I would say this, it's crazy because like once the crack epidemic hit and we start moving around from hood to hood, house to house, I went to a school called Marshall and they had a police team called the Blue Pigs. And they brought all the drugs to the school to display. Now I don't really understand that, but now keep in mind this what they were saying about Ronald Reagan and all that.
Yeah.
So it was real serious because the Blue Pigs brought the drugs and showed them to all the students. But me, I knew what it was. I knew what it was worth. So what I did was I took it and made a big old commotion at the school. They had dog. The dog was already there. But I was thinking it was fake, to be honest. But I knew what it looked, so I took it. And in the process of me taking it, I put it in somebody else's book sack because we was in a like where the bleachers be at, like you know. So I put it in somebody else's book sack. So when we all went back to class, after everybody went back to class, because it was like a orientation, something, you know, and he managed to get away with it. So I got it back and I took it home and I sold it out the side window.
Ooh.
And I was every bit of 7 years old.
Oh, you was smooth at 7.
Yeah, I had to take it and break it down. Like I took it home and it was like a miracle because we were struggling. This is like a miracle to say, okay, now you got some, mama don't know about it, so we good. All we got to do is sell it, and we broke it down, and I actually like sold it out the side window. I remember like 7 years old, selling crack, definitely.
Now that you say 7 years old, I seen that you said that you start spitting rhymes at the age of 7 years old.
Right.
I understand, you know, a 7, but the way you spit right now, your rhymes are different than everybody else. At the age of 7 years old, what type of rhymes was you spitting in Detroit, Michigan, man? Because there wasn't no such thing as gangster rap at that time, but at the same time, you know, hip hop was out. But you quote unquote 7 years from 78, we would say in the mid 80s, we'll say 85. You know, Easy E and Cube them wasn't doing their thing.
It was something like this. It was something like. It's so long ago, it's hard to even pronounce it. But it was.
So was you spitting like hip hop, or was you on some gangster
hip hop?
So you okay?
Well, gangster was LL Cool J. So gangster wasn't even out yet.
I got you. That's what I'm saying, because
it was like I'm a supersonic rocker, not a conscious
okay,
shocker. I'm known in Detroit as the MC Rocker. I'm respected and elected to be above average when I tie my attorney and call it like a savage. You know,
you was spitting that at 7?
At 7.
Oh. That's why you the way you is not.
Right.
Okay.
Like whenever I learned any word or whatever, I incorporated it in my rhyme.
That's wild. So you were spitting hard at the age of 7. All right. So back to what you were saying about your family. Did you grow up in a two-parent household when you was growing up in Detroit, Michigan?
Man, it's crazy because like I never even had a father figure. Like my father didn't feel like the story was told from my mom that my dad climbed down the chimney and raped her and got pregnant with me. And the only reason why she had me is because my dad had already been with her and had my sister. But like all our fathers was 10 years older than my mom. You know, like she was young. Like they slipped it on her so they can control her. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like once they figured out, you know, how to handle her, like, I mean, my mom's story is probably even harder than mine.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because her mom gave her away. So, you know, that's where it all started. And like, I didn't get a chance to ask my grandma, you know, what her curse was, but you know, the curse been there.
Okay. So, can you speak about the issues that made y'all like immediately move from Detroit, Michigan to Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Definitely. It was the Untouchables and Young Boys Incorporated. Those were gangs. But see, the thing was, when they found out that your parent did drugs, they took over your house. Your house became a drug house. So every house we lived in, if it wasn't already a drug house, it became a drug house. So my brothers didn't have no way out. They was the right age. See, I was maybe a little too young, but they was 9, 10, and 11. They were old enough. So you had to sell drugs if your mom was on drugs. Like, that was part of, you know, her getting high was your children have to work for us. And, you know, too much of that, it got dangerous. You know, because like, say for instance, one of them might be doing good and then my mom might, you know, break them down, you know, and then that's a problem with them, and then it's a problem with whoever fronting them because you get fronted. Like, they might give you 2 ounces of crack already cut up in fine little vials, you know, and you just got to sell them. The sales going to automatically come. So, you know, like, with that being said, it became, like, my mom thought she was going to lose one of them. My older 3 brothers, they was already running away and here and there and, you know, couldn't take the struggle. You know, they was tired of stealing water, bringing it back to the crib, so they had run away. So with that, you know, they started getting LL Cool J troops and big Levi jackets and started looking like little drug dealers, but they had to do it. And she was like, no, we have to go. So she got us all and we left. We landed in Baton Rouge. One of my brothers went back. And I always thought he'd be the one to save us. And he went back and got hooked on crack himself. So that's how hard Detroit was. He thought he was going to go back and his people was going to save him because he had a different dad. But other than that, he couldn't handle Detroit by himself.
Ooh, okay. So, speaking of your other siblings, your brothers, how hard did your brothers go in the streets, and was that like an influence to you to go to school and did what you did at the age of 7 by taking what they had, you know, exposed out to y'all?
My brothers was bitter from what my mom did them, I think. How she didn't have no answers for them about, you know, where were they fathers and why they wasn't getting the proper love. Because they got a little bit of the good life before the crack epidemic. Because before the crack epidemic, you could be struggling and be all right. You can borrow eggs and sugar and milk and go to the neighbor's house and eat and get popsicles and all that. But after the crack epidemic, it wasn't no help. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody was, you know, survival of whoever got anything. So, like, that kind of changed it. So, my brothers was more so of the type of brothers that didn't want to be big brothers. Like, they didn't want me as a responsibility, so I had to get it on my own. I had to fend for myself, like, the whole time. I got 3 big brothers, but they never were brotherly. They never showed me how to play sports or, you know, took me nowhere or bought me anything or nothing like that. Once I got old enough, I basically just looked out for them, you know, like carried the load. I'm the big brother. You know, I'm the youngest, But as far as in looking out for who and who did what and what and in the streets and you know, like who you got to deal with if you know you cross somebody, me, Bighead.
Facts. All right. So whenever y'all left Detroit to go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that Greyhound bus that y'all took from Detroit all the way to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that's a long trip. What was going on through your mind as you was taking that trip to Baton Rouge? Did you know y'all was going out there to stay, or did you think y'all was just going out there to visit?
Well, I thought we was going to be saved. I thought we was going somewhere where my mom, it was supposed to be my mom's father, which those were where we landed. So I'm thinking we going to good people that's going to save us and help us out and take away the struggle and all that. So on the bus, now we was moving around so fast and you know stuff like that. Unfortunately, I didn't have any clothes. So all I had what was on my back. That was the only thing worth bringing, what was on my back. That's how I was thinking. That's how bad we needed help. So we had like some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and we had some bologna sandwiches. And for some reason we thought that was gonna last. But I would say 3-4 hours into the trip, that was gone. We didn't have nothing to eat. We didn't have no money. We had one suitcase. My brother Percy P. Bleezy, he had a few clothes and my mom had a few clothes. But the rest of us really didn't have anything but what we had on. My brother DeWan might have had a book sack or something. But like I basically asked people for money at the on the bus and at the bus stations because we stopped about 3 or 4 times. It took like 4 days to get here on the bus. So, you know, like I'm asking people for money from the time we ran out of stuff. And like I did so well, like I provided my family with food and things like that on a Greyhound trip to Baton Rouge. You know, like I remember one man might have gave me like $20 because he saw what I was doing and what I was trying to do. And he had rolled so far with us and he was like, yeah, man, you know, and that's basically was the trip. You know, and when we got here, we landed in the worst part of Baton Rouge, Louisiana it could be. And
so how would you say the school scene changed from Detroit, Michigan to Baton Rouge? Did it seem a little sweeter in Baton Rouge? Did it seem Detroit was going harder? You know, give me your input on that right there.
Detroit schools were already povertized. Like half of them was half burnt. You know, windows bust out, people breaking in them, gangs like you see on TV. You know, like that's how the Detroit schools was. But when I got to a Baton Rouge school, it was all about teasing. You know, and I was in survival mode. Like when we landed at 9. When I was 9, we missed school. I might have missed school for a whole school season, semester or whatever. Then we finally got in school and I went to Greenville and, you know, they would just like to tease. And, you know, I learned then to start punching the people who tease in the mouth. So it went from that to like that one, and then I made it to do fry. The first day I had to fight because teasing, you know, like I'm in the office, I ain't even got rolled in the class, they walking by teasing, laughing, pointing, you know, I'm like, yeah. So about time we got to the end of the line, you know, where the bad dudes was at, I was ready to square off with one of them to show everybody else that that's what how I was gonna go. Yeah. And that's kind of sort of how it went. So by middle school, you know, like I was friends with the weak and I bullied the bullies. Yeah. You know?
So in middle school, now that you say that, you 12, 13 years old in middle school, how hard was you spitting in Baton Rouge by the time you made it to middle school?
By the time I made it to middle school, I was probably the best rapper in South Baton Rouge. By the time I made it to middle school.
Would you say maybe possibly? Cause I ain't lying, man. You be spitting now. So at that time, being in middle school, your vocabulary is totally different coming from up north,
right,
than down south. Would you say you possibly was spitting harder than anything in Louisiana, bro? Because your vocabulary was different.
I would definitely say that because I went at everybody. Like, I didn't spare nobody. I went from the people in the hood, then I every school, I conquered the schools, you know, and then when we got to the game room, it was more about Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. New Orleans, they was popping. So, you know, I got a chance to rap against all them and, you know, all that young. So, you know, I've been tearing them up. Just when they put a beat on, that's all I needed was the beat. Like, and I just freestyle, like, until everybody lost.
Okay, so now that you say that, speaking on the game room, man, how hard was the game room when you used to go up in there and spit? And can you name a few artists that then popped off just like yourself? Can you name a few artists that was up there spitting at the game room when you was doing your thing, man?
Well, I could name some from Baton Rouge, like CeeLo. He was one. Like, he was the reign supreme. You know, like, he was the one who broke the mold and turned it into real music.
So CeeLo was actually in the game room spitting when you was doing your thing?
Yeah, like he brought it, he like put structure to it. But you know, like, he was out the way for the sparring because like he was sparring with like my big homie, Lee Lucas. But Lee Lucas didn't get it too much far to get his music going because he had a lot of other stuff going on. But like,
so how old was possibly? Do you know how old CeeLo and Lee Lucas was and yourself at that time that y'all was spitting at the game room?
Well, I would say I probably started at the game room at 13. So maybe from 13 to 15. So if I'm 13, CeeLo had to be 18 or 19 or maybe 20, and Lee Lucas had to be 18 to 19 or 20 or 21 or something like that. Like, you know, everybody was young. Now, keep in mind, Birdman fell in, you know, Juvenile fell in, you know, a lot of the artists that fell in passed, but like Yellow Boy, Pimp Daddy, DJ Jimmy, you know, like a lot of people from New Orleans actually fell in, and I actually got a chance to like go head to head with them because I represented for not only for the South, I represented for Baton Rouge when it came to the game room. You know, like they had another guy named Lit A. He go by the name of Adrian Badger, like he's singing stuff now. And like he was another one that got up there with me and, you know, helped me rap against other cities and things like that. But as far as in who held the crown in the game room, it was me. And it started, you know, dancing. So it was like converted, like I showed them how to convert from dancing to rapping. Like Detroit showed me that.
So when you first made it to the game room, you was more like dancing and then you had to go to the spitting, or you just put both of them together when you first came in?
See, it was like levels. It was like, okay, at school, you know, like you the king at rap. But at the game room, they got grown people. So you the king at dance. So what you have to do is you have to level up. So, you know, it's like, well, okay, you know, give them the mic. And, you know, once I got the mic, I didn't have to dance no more.
Facts.
But you know, like at school and stuff, it ain't no mic. It's just boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
no,
you know
beating
what I'm
on
saying?
chest, beating on, yeah, I got beating on desk, I got you.
You know, I conquered all them levels.
So at that time, when you was doing your thing over there at the game room, was it anybody in your circle particular that you was spitting with, or it was just, you know, you, Bighead the Dome Doctor? Did you have a circle, your crowd that you was going up with?
Man, I had my partners off the block, and they was young, and we was all young, and you know, like, it's crazy because they all died, like, why me trying? You know, like, the dudes that I feel that was, you know, was part of my build-up circle, you know, Lil Main, Tyree, you know, Lee still around, you know, so, you know, but like Big Thug, he was like the last one and he died, you know, like, so all my build up, you know, the ones that when you just rapping and they jump up there and get off them, you know, like,
yeah.
you know, they gone.
Gotcha. So what age did you meet Bucky and Ivy? What age you think it was? Was you going to the was you going there at that time when you knew? Did you know Bucky and Ivy at that time?
Well, I started Ivy to the game room. Now with Bucky was older. Bucky and Ivy is brothers, and it's crazy because like you normally don't have two legendary people that's brothers. And you know, like somebody that have to be captain or line, just but they were real life legendary people. Like Bucky was a gangster. Like his real name Kamar German. He was a real gangster. I think he got it from his daddy. And his mom knew it because she was praying and churched out. You know, like she was, you know, God was preparing her from the time I met her, you know, for the things that would come ahead, because she had 4 sons and lost them all. You know, now it wasn't just Bucky and Ivy, it's Tavares and Talon, twins, you know, they died too. And, you know, rest in peace to all of them. But Bucky was kind of sort of like my role model because at first he was quiet and he was like, you know, just trying to be an average person. But the way things were going and the side of 16th that I was on had all the gangsters. Bucky was on the side by the Yang that really didn't have no gangsters. It had all the hustlers. So the hustlers wanted to mingle in with the gangsters and the gangsters wanted to mingle in with the hustlers. So that's where you had to cross government and mingle in. Only certain people would do it. Now me, keep in mind, I was from Detroit. So it didn't matter to me. You had to stop me. You know, once the South hit my blood, I was Southside, this my hood. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm ready to prove what any other little nigga around here won't prove. I'm ready to prove it. So, you know, I was the leader of the wrong crowd. So, you know, Bucky was the one who started bringing gangsterism on our side. And I ended up going over there on the other side because I needed help. I needed money. I needed to hustle. And I couldn't hustle over here because it was all like desert dummies and fake stuff and, you know, jacking and robbing and killing. And so I went on the other side by the Yang where they had the little life left. So, you know, I went to hustling. And Ivory came in then. But he was like little, he wasn't hustling or nothing. But he was able to provide me like food and stuff because, now keep in mind, I'm 13, but I'm paying rent. I'm not hustling to, you know, mess up or nothing. Like, I'm surviving, like, I'm taking care of my mom and my sister. So I gotta pay rent. So, you know, it's hard. So, you know, he like, when his mom or his grandmother cooked, he would come, because some of the times our lights was off. Like, if my mom caught the phat, she would steal it, you know? And, or you know what, you know how they go. And so sometimes the lights was off. And, you know, sometimes we didn't have no food. So, you know, Ivy was right behind the gate. Now the gate made the separation from Blanchard's Court till 17th, where, you know, his people stayed. So, you know, like, he was looking out over the gate, and that meant a lot. And I didn't want to teach him how to be bad. I didn't want to teach him about the streets. I didn't want to show him the wrong way, but he wanted that. And that's, you know, he wanted to be a bad guy, seemed it like, you know, or he wanted a reputation. And, you know, just like Bucky, you know, but he didn't want to be like Bucky. Or I wasn't going to lie. I didn't want to be like Bucky. So it was like, I'm not going to, you know, we ain't going to push the envelope like that. So Ivy was, you know, more of like, I kind of showed him everything. Because didn't nobody want to show him. And like his mom didn't want him to see, and his brother Bucky wanted him to see, but he didn't want to show him because he knew that he was a gangster. He like, all I can show you how to do is don't give a fuck about nobody or nothing and kill and, you know, stuff like that. But so he didn't want him, so he put him in my hands. He said, well, you know, you gonna make sure he all right, because it was times Bucky would be getting into stuff and I'd be out there with him. And I'm like 13, but I'm getting into what he getting into to prove myself. So I done proved myself to Bucky, so now he like, well, you can lead my little brothers. You welcome at my house with around my mom and all that. So, you know, that's how that went. So, you know, we got like brothers, like real brothers, like we lived together. You know, Bucky didn't come home because he was a gangster. He didn't want to, you know, like bring that upon his mom. Like, he loved her, but he didn't want to show compassion. So he stayed away. You know, even when he was around her, he was like in the other room being him, you know? And, you know, like, it was odd, bro, because, like, I never met nobody like that. Like, and had love for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
so, I was born in the early 80s. Up my way. I'm from Louisiana too. I'm from the Ponchatoula, Louisiana area, man. I can go back and remember in 88, 89, that's when I can actually start seeing the crack era hit up my way.
Right.
In Southside Baton Rouge, when you was 9 years old, had it already hit in the early 80s, or was it late 80s for y'all? And can you explain the change that you seen in Southside Baton Rouge when the crack era actually hit out there?
well, in the part that I was in, to me, it looked like it helped it. Because, like, they were at the point to where some of them was shooting heroin and some of them was shooting coke. But it was needles that was the problem. Everywhere you look, it was needles. And they were sharing. Like, it was no, like they wasn't just on the news saying needles kill and, you know, AIDS and all this. Mm-hmm. See, like, that didn't matter to them. Half of them, the ones that dead. I know a whole apartment building of people pretty much that have died because of that what was going on when we first landed. So, now I want to say my brother or my mom, for some reason, it had to be my brother, still had some from Detroit, some crack. And, you know, he was like, I'm going to make me a way with this soon as I get there. Like, you know. So that kind of like worked, but it pulled my mom in that direction. And it was like 6 months. Now, keep in mind, day 1, day 2, we went to the country to somebody and that didn't work. It was like, ma'am, come get your children. We came back to South Baton Rouge. So by day 6, I might didn't see my mom for a month. And then I might have saw her for a day or two, and she gave me instructions like, you know, this is your family. You can stay with him, you can stay with her, you can boom, 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 boom. But, you know, that's what it is. So, but basically what was going on, she was transforming the game from cocaine to crack for the drug dealers. And they was making her feel special because she knew, like my brothers and them, they didn't know how to cook it. Or, you know, they wasn't good at it, but my mom did. So, you know, enough to show people what to do. And, you know, from there, the epidemic, it cleaned up the needles. And that was a good thing. But it wiped out all the electricity and food and clothes and shoes and help. Like, it wiped everything out. And I was like, here we go again. The crack epidemic all over again. And we came to Baton Rouge because we was just finna get swallowed up by the one in Detroit. So we was like, you know, my mom like, nah, you know, she done fought it so hard to where she can't fight no more. So she come to Baton Rouge and had to fight it all over again, lost again.
Okay. So we're gonna take it back to the game room, man. Can you name some of those legendary artists from New Orleans that you might have went head to head with out there?
Well, I'm always say Juvenile because I respect Juvenile.
Yeah.
And I like Juvenile style. And at that time, he wasn't that big. He was, you know, he was under DJ Jimmy. You know, like DJ Jimmy was like the full thing. So, you know, Julie was just had like one hot song, but his song was hot. And like, I'm still just ripping they Trigger Man beat. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like it was like Juvie and man, it was so.
It was a lot of them. We washed up a lot of them.
But see, the hard part is that a lot of them passed. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, like they legacy. You know, I don't know where it went from there because, like, you know, it's like, say for instance, they had Sporty T and his whole crew. You know, like Take Four. You know, they had. Miss T, they had Pimp Daddy, they had Cheeky Black, you know, she came in the end, mm-hmm. But you know, like they had the dancers, DJ Jubilee and his dancers, like I say, I came in dancing.
Yeah.
So you know, I went through all that with them, like I came up with a little dance, the knuckle up and you know, they called it the Crazy Man, and you know, they never called it the Bighead. You know,
that's what they should have called it.
Right.
That's what they should have called it.
Because in the game room, that's what they called it.
Yeah.
The Bighead dude, but you know, they just didn't want me to revolve, bro. I don't know why.
Facts.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Lee Lucas. What year, not year, but what age did you really start rocking with Lee Lucas, man?
Ooh, Lee Lucas, bro, like, it's crazy because, like, I helped him and he helped me because he was in a situation, I want to say, I don't know if it was his or if the people he was with, but they ran through our schoolyard. And the police was chasing him because he lived right behind the school, Dufrock Elementary. So he ran through the schoolyard, and a few people ran through the schoolyard. The police ran through the schoolyard, so they screaming, you know, all the children get in. He got a gun. He got a gun. He got a gun. It wasn't nothing new to me. So I'm knowing that, you know, Lee Lucas' name was already ringing. I knew who stayed at their house and all this and all that. I knew, you know, his mom, his grandfather, all of them was famous already just, you know, just by being their self, you know, some real popular people. And when I saw that, I felt like I was one of them then. So I didn't pay attention to what other children were doing, running, panicking, screaming, all that. I tried to see what was going on, so I ended up seeing a gun. And I knew they was trying to get us inside so they can take them to jail, because I want to say they had him in the car. Once he got to his house, they put him in the car. You know, like, he like, I'm at home, I don't got nothing. They like, nah, you going to jail. But anyway, they guess they was looking or whatever. But I picked the gun up and took the gun in the school. And once again, placed it in someone else's book sack. And for some reason, they came and harassed me a little bit. You know, asked me about it. And I was like, nah, I don't know nothing y'all talking about. So then, once they bagged up, I went on and got it and just left. And took it home. I'm looking at it like it's worth something. So when I took it home, and like the first person that said something about it, I gave it to him, and I got honored from then with hand-me-downs. You know, from Lee, from Derek Swanson, from, you know, the people who had the good hand-me-downs, the Bally's, the Travel Fox, the, you know, the U's and all that. Like, I was getting that then, so I was still poor, I was still struggling, but I had a little help because I had some hand-me-downs that made me look like a little hustler because of that. So that made my relationship with Lee grow. He knew me as a little boy. And I had a situation with Fred Hayes, so it's like the big dudes in the hood knew of me, and they just thought I was another little person from around them, and just jumped off the porch, you know? So from there, like, I was like one of Lee's little soldiers from the gate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been knew him from a little boy, and, you know, but jail and stuff like that, like, took it to that, you know, jail, you know, is where it ended, you know, because he's still in there, you know, hopefully he'll be out one day, but he's still in there, you know what I'm saying?
So, with all the rapping and everything that you got going on, because you basically riding both sides of the fence. You spitting, but at the same time you doing what you doing to survive.
Right.
What age would you say in Southside Baton Rouge, or we'll even take it all the way back to Detroit, that you start getting into trouble with the law?
Oh, I started getting in trouble with the law in the beginning in Detroit. Like, I had to went to jail about 2 or 3 times in Detroit, and actually was in a cell because, like, you know, my mom wasn't quick to come pick us up, or didn't have a car, didn't know what jail we was in, or, you know, stuff like that. But it was like my mom taught me how to be a criminal by default. You know, like, you know, stealing buckets of water is still stealing.
That's what it is.
You know, pickpocketing and people is still stealing. You know, like I would go to Hamtramck. We would walk way from wherever we would walk from, sometime from 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, 9 miles, 10 miles Hamtramck. And we would load up garbage bags. And I'd just run out the store with them. And we would do that in 5 or 6 stores, and then we would go home with enough stuff to make everybody, like, I stole for my whole family, like shoes, clothes. Then we'd go to the grocery store, I do the same thing with neck bones and rice and butter. I even stole the onion, you know? Like, yeah. I was like, I was family orientated with it, but like, I was prone to be a criminal, because like, that's the way, that's all it was there. Like, my mom didn't have no help, so she had to do what she had to do, had to get it how she had to get it. Like, and the one time I was with my dad, and he took me to the store and he stole, and he told me to steal, and I got caught and he got away, but that was the plan, you know? So my dad took a little kid's shoes off his feet and said he was doing it for me. I baited the little kid in, like, you know, come play with me. And he took his shoes. They was Jordan #1s.
Yeah.
And that's when they first came out, and he took them, and I didn't know, you know, I was just so happy. And he took them and sold them and bought me some shit stompers. And in Detroit, you know, shit stompers, you don't even got to walk. He was just dragging me all the way through, you know, the General Motors plants and through the list cuts.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy, because at the end of the day, a nigga shot him in his ass.
Damn.
Like, all this happened in one day. We stole. We went to a pit. We went to a park where they had children. Like, I don't know if it was YMCA or whatever, but he ended up going in the lady over the children's purse, and then taking the little guy's shoes, and then selling them, and then trying to please me with these shit stompers, and then after we walked so far, he ended up getting a bike because he had a few shams from selling the shoes. And I guess he went, after he got high, he tried to jack somebody, and I'm on the handlebars, and when the nigga shot him in his ass, I'm on the handlebars.
Damn.
And it's crazy because I felt nothing. Like, when he got shot in the ass, he hopped off the bike. And I felt the jet, but the bike was still going. And it was like this 10 speed. So these some funny made to the front handlebars.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I'm like a little guy, so I'm fitting right in there. So, like, the bike basically fell. I was scared to death. I jumped up, ran in somebody's house, and they took me home. Like, that's when the code came in right there. Whenever that happened, because all I knew was, I was thinking about was, is my daddy all right? And, police and ambulance and, emergency stuff like that. And I want to say the ambulance came, but they didn't want me back on the scene at all. Like, whoever house I ran in, they just you just calm. I remember them, just you be still, you be calm, you don't say nothing, boom, 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 boom. And I end up getting back to my mom some kind of way, and that probably was the last time I saw my dad.
All right, so that's what was going on in Detroit at that time, man. How would you say, trouble-wise, when you came to Baton Rouge, the dibbling and dabbling, what was going on with that, man?
Well, it was kind of like a little slower. Like, it wasn't all poverty. It had, like I said, a little help, and I wanted to, like, that was my only resource. Was like trouble. Was like getting into stuff, and it wasn't long before I got into serious trouble, and I was the leader of the wrong crowd, like. And a lot of times, that's where my change of heart came in, for like, hurting people and seeing people hurt, because, like, pain is pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Your pockets hurting, they hurt, So I just wasn't, I'm not comfortable with, applying pain to people, like, because I did it to survive, like, and I be wanting them to know that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so you met Lee Lucas around the time y'all was going to the game room, all y'all was spitting.
No, I knew Lee before the game room.
But he was actually going to the game room to actually rap with you up there?
Well, we rapped together at the game room.
Yeah.
But he was, like, when I was battling, it was just me. Like, when he showed up, it was orchestrated. Like, he was trying to get something that was structured. He wasn't trying to just battle. I battled my way there.
I got you.
He was like, nah, I'm gonna try to put the CD out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was called the No Cut Boys or the No Cut Crew or something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't an actual member, but I was gonna be, because it was like just being honest. Like, I was always just good, and like somebody should have then said, bro, like, you that good. Let me do this for you. Let me make this happen for you. you know, but they didn't do that. They just always wanted me to fit in with what they had going on, you know. And I was like, mate, you know, that's not probably the best idea. I know you don't rap gooder than me. You know what? Is this about rap, or is this about looks, or is this about where you come from or what you got? Let me know, because if this about rap, I need to be rapping. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how that went, and you know, like the music thing, I would say that it was always my thing.
I got you. So I done heard you say quite a few times, I done heard you mention this name time after time after time again, LL Cool J. Would you say that's like your biggest influence in rap? Cause I done heard that name a lot coming out your mouth, man. Like,
man, I would have to say it, bro. Like, and it's if that's the truth, if that's the honest truth, then that's just the honest truth. I can't take nothing away from LL, because like LL gave me courage. L told me what I needed. You know, like I knew I had to be bad. You know, I'm bad. You know, that's where your courage came in at. Because in Detroit, you need courage. You know, they got, you know, just the night alone, you know, is wicked, you know. So, and then it was I Need Love, you know. Like, when you ain't getting no love and somebody make a song called I Need Love, you too young to get the emotional, like, female intimate part about it. You just get the part about, you know I need love. I'm not getting it from my family. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was real impactful, and you know, he battled it was like he had to fight his way. Like, they wanted to play him like a pretty boy, and he wanted to. He was like, I gotta be hard, you know. And he was just coming off so hard, and you know, it was like he built a whole image, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the hat, the Cool J hat, the Cool J shoes, you know, like, you know, he was tough, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you needed, toughness.
Yeah.
So that was, my rhymes became my best friend. Like, I didn't really have any friends for moving all the time, and brothers, you know, being the way they were. Rhyme became my friend. So, you know, like, I just rhymed.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a question. I got right here, Alton Sterling. How long did you know Alton Sterling?
I knew him a while, but I knew the young him. I knew, like, we was in jail. Mm-hmm. And you know, I was in there with me and his cousin Larry, and they were a little younger than me. He was younger than him, and like, I was trying to show them how to joust, cause I was trying to sneak the pack in and you know all that. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to show them how to joust, and I'm like, y'all gotta humble yourself. And you know, Alton, he was just like, he wanted to prove himself, and Larry was already, you know, certified. Yeah. So it was more so like, you know, Alton like, Larry, you know I'm certified, but we like this jail. Yeah. You know, so
start over. You gotta show yourself in the same way you certified out here. I got you.
So by then, you know, I had then moved around, and me and Larry stayed close, and me and Alton really wasn't that close, because like he was moving bad, and like I say, me and Larry was close, and we was trying to school Alton on, you know, how to joust, and so that wouldn't stick Larry out, because Larry had got it. You know, he was a soldier, he was solid. You know, Alton was too, but you know, he still was saying he had to prove it. Like, nah, you don't got to do this, you know. So then he started doing the CD thing. And I bumped into him a couple of times, and you know, like, I hollered at him, and you know that was that. And like, you know, his family, like some of his family, like my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. So, I mean, how did you feel when you seen that? Because it was circulating everywhere, man. That was actually national news, and that got everywhere. How did that make you feel when you seen that actually happen to Alton?
Well, I felt like he was targeted because, you know, like, there's no way that you can come and attack me and kill me. I don't care if you is a police. You know, now, it's certain protocol how you supposed to go about doing this. But attacking me to kill me, nah, you're not gonna just kill me. Well, grab me for what? You can't handle me. So what you gonna grab me for? What you gonna try to take me down for? You should have had your gun out from the get-go, saying, you know, any other time they got a point and drawn and saying get down and all that. You should have did that from the get-go. But nah, you wanna provoke it. You know, like I'm pretty sure, like in civil court, like they're gonna have to, I'm pretty sure people won something in civil court. But they're not gonna let them, you know, win in like criminal charges on these cops. I don't know why, because you actually attacked that man.
Thanks.
Now, when they showed the video later about the part about he had a gun and all that, like, that still don't make it, you know, make it right for you to kill him because you pulled the gun out of his pocket. You know, so nobody's saying you can kill somebody with a gun in their pocket. They got to actually pull it out and try to, you know,
got
shoot
to be
you
a
with
threat.
it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But you attacked him.
Yep.
But you knew he had this gun in his pocket. So you knew if he didn't just give in, you was going to shoot him anyway. So I looked at it like he was, you know, he was targeted.
Facts.
And a lot of times I be worried about myself because, like, you know, you never know if who's in control and who's in power of what in Baton Rouge, you know, like, and for you to get targeted by the cops. Like, when I say I'm staying out the way, I'm not just staying out the way from the haters and the youngsters and, you know, the inevitable. I'm staying out the way of the cops too, you know.
Thanks.
Like, I'm staying out the way, man.
Straight up. I feel that.
Rest in peace to Alton Sterling, bro. Like, and it was more than just Alton Sterling. I know a few more.
You know a few. Hey, that one never just come out.
My little partner Tyrus, like, you know, my partner T-Roy, you know, like the police killed them, and they killed them because they wasn't afraid of the police.
Now you said a mouthful with that because I know somebody that actually, like exactly what you said, was not afraid.
He wasn't afraid.
They told him to put his hands up. He didn't put his hands up. They lit him up, bro. So I feel you on that. You said a mouthful with that one, my dog.
Like, you know, like them dudes will have, like, all of them might have ADD in common. You know, all of them might have been in resource class. They all of them had this in common, but just so happened y'all killed them. You know why? Because just that little resource problem that they had, they didn't fear y'all, and y'all killed them. You know, so rest in peace, Alton Sterling, T-Roy, and Tyrus. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And everybody else, you know?
I got you. So, now that we talking about being locked up, man, I seen that you say that you was locked up with Soulja Slim.
Right.
Tell me, come on, man, you got to come in, because I'm going to keep it real with you. And at the end of this interview, man, I want to talk to you about who your top 5 is in the South. I don't want to hear about nothing else, just in the South. But as of right now, I got Slim as my number 1. You know what I'm saying? I would like to know, man, tell me something about Slim, man. I mean, put it out there, man.
I mean, Slim was actually who he said he was. But like, say for instance, I came on lockdown for.
Where was this at? My bad for cutting you off.
This was in Tensar. The old Tensar, not the new Tensar, the old Tensar. And I want to say they closed it down. But I got shipped from there. He got shipped from there too. But how it went was, we had, my cousin got some smoke in, and we was smoking, and I was messing with one of the female guards, and niggas started hating. So, you know, like, now keep in mind, this was actually before the rap with me. Like, it was Slim was in. I was known in the game room, in jail.
You was already known for banging people up, basically. But you wasn't in the industry.
I wasn't Trill yet.
I got you. I
probably hadn't met him. I probably, made a little underground tape, but so like Slim knew of me. Mm-hmm. Because I knew of No Limit and all that, so he knew of me. But so it was like this. When I got in the cell with him, at first it was just nothing. And then, like, I had to break first, like, I'm like, man, because he talking to himself, like, he, whoopty whoop, and da-da-da-da-da, and, like, just being a character. So I'm like, just in the cell, just playing back, it's a 2-man cell, but I come in his cell because, like, I guess only certain people, only certain people want only certain people around him in these cells. I don't know why he was in there, but he was already in there. This lockdown, So they put me in there, and, at first it was like quiet for about a day or two. So then, I want to say we had to do something with food, or somebody brought me something, brought him something. One of my partners was in like a dome or something. They was doing something, and we was able to go in there and watch TV for an hour, or get a haircut or something, and I was able to come back in with something, weed or cigarettes or something, and that kind of like broke the ice. But and it was phone time. Like, if I didn't have nobody to call, I would let him use it. He didn't have nobody to call because we even shared that. But then it became to the point where we started I would make a call for him, he would make a call for me, I'd call a girl, for him, and then that's when the rap kicked in. We started rapping. And then once we started rapping, it was like they wanted to damn near leave our cell, our door open. They started leaving the key open. They wanted to leave the door open so, they could just hear us. And, like we was up north. We wasn't around down south. So, it was like more just rap and chemistry, and then we got cool and close, and we got like family. But he was always telling me how cutthroat he was, and he was doing cutthroat in the cell. Like, we'll play cards, and he'll be trying to cheat, and cigarette rolling, and all kind of what he'll be doing, standing on cutthroat like early in the morning, nigga tray and But when we got out. And I got a show, bro. It was me, Soulja Slim, and BG. And he stood on that cut, and that kind of like pulled me away from him, because like it was like what me and him shared. It was cool, but he was back to his normal self.
I got you.
So he was trying to like, nah, we in VIP. But I created the VIP because I'm already getting a lit slice, because BG and Soulja got to get a lit slice too. They got to get a bigger slice than me. You feel me? But this is in Baton Rouge at the Zone, and I was behind putting it together,
Yeah.
Or, part of it. So I put the VIP together. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got somebody at the door. Now I done made more money right here than the whole together, because guess what? BG and Soulja Slim in here with me. But Soulja Slim won't start shooting dice. Him and his partners. Now but they cheat. These niggas got an extra dice.
Oh, they
So you know, and he know that I know. Like I'm peeping it. But some of these niggas, like not my homies, but niggas I know, you know, because everybody in here in this little room is like little active people.
Yeah.
And these niggas just like falling for that shit, or just going for it.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of like made me feel like, you know, like, man, y'all niggas just let nigga play y'all like that just to be down. And, you know, he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a damn. He was just, it happened so long to where niggas was anxious to bet. So I just left on out the room, you know?
Damn.
And that was like my last time really, you know, like seeing him. But you know, like on a holler tip, you know, it was all there.
So we're gonna bring it back to, I know you start rapping at the age of 7. When is the first time you went to the studio and actually laid down the track, man? And when you went to the studio, did you know how to lay down the track, or did somebody school you to lay down that track?
I'm probably, the first time I went to the studio was probably with Lee. Because, with, you know, no cut boys. Like, I would have been in there if, you know, things wouldn't have went left and people wouldn't have started going to jail. So, you know, we was coming. And, you know, he just told me how many lines to write, how many lines made a verse. And I want to say, I'm dressed to kill in my gat. I'm dressed to kill in my black with my gat. Got my hammer pulled back for the niggas want to jack. Check 9, 44s, 38s, 25s with all the gun war. How you gonna stay alive? I'm young and I'm hard, but I'm sick of the murder scenes. When I go to sleep, I see dead bodies in my dreams. Hoes try to break me. Niggas try to take me. But I make money. Money don't make me. They thought I was gone cause a nigga caught me slipping. But Junior and Wayne pulled up, popping clips in. Murder be calling, but I don't call back. I can't be a buster. I gotta keep me a gat. You might well be real cause you still gonna die. Hold on, stay strong, don't never let them see you cry. And these are the words from a young OG straight off the south side streets of South 16th. That was my first verse.
Woo! Blaze, how old you was when you spit that, man?
About 15.
Ooh.
You know, G's from the booth.
Lord.
Yeah.
That was when you was actually rapping with Lee Lucas. That was your first verse that you put down in the studio?
Yeah, he was the first person that took me to the studio that actually put me on the song.
So that was around the age of 15. Can you explain what you was actually doing? I think, if I'm not mistaken, you got plugged in with Trill Entertainment when you was 25. So from the age of 15 to the age of 25, when you first start laying them tracks down, can you kind of give us an example of what you was doing in the rap game from the age of 15 to 25 before you got?
I did a lot in the rap game, but it was basically back to freestyle. Because it really wasn't no studios. We went to Tommy Jefferson, and you know, like on a reel to reel. So you know, you didn't have the studios everywhere. So you had to know somebody, and you had to definitely be able to pay them. You know, and I didn't have either resource. So you know, but Lee had them both. So with that, you know, I got that point. But after that, it's crazy because, like, my rap, you know, like, like the people that I was meeting, it never stopped. Like, I knew that it was in me to be a rapper because now I done met people like Notorious Big, Tupac, you know, because of music and being that nigga. Like the guy I used to fight for, a dude named Booby Ray, he used to pay me to fight And him and his partner was cool with the club when Tupac came. So due to the fact that I was Booby Ray mainly henchman, I was honored enough to be in a small little room that he had to pass through to get to where, the DJ booth. And I got a good chance to see him close and holler, and he did some weird, walked out, was Pop, and Big was on a van at the Central Place. He didn't even get out. So I didn't understand that. I didn't know why. But at this point, like, I don't know if he was as big, but he had to be because he was big. He didn't live long, he didn't do much. But so he was major the whole time. But it was all of them. And I don't know if they, they didn't get paid or what, sometimes that's how it be. But they didn't perform. They left. But they was like, "What a weed at?" And I was like, "Well, I'll show you." And I'm like, "Well, okay." So I told my partner, "Look, you take the car, I'm gonna show them, and they're gonna drop me off." So, I took them on my block on 16th Street. So Notorious Big was on South 16th Street. Puff was on South 16th Street.
Ooh, that's insane.
And nobody was out there because this is after the concert. Now, they didn't perform, but, they were still, I guess they was going to perform last if everything would have went how it's supposed to. But I ended up getting dropped off by them on South 16th Street. And nobody was there to, embrace my passion, which was music, which was hip hop. But that meant a lot to me.
Thanks. So, what age did you meet Donkey?
Donkey?
Yeah.
Well, I knew Donkey from the game room.
So that's where, cause I know Donkey had did that, he had caught that charge.
This was before then.
That was before then?
And I bumped back into him on Juvenile line. See, in the game room, it was more so my world. But Donkey he probably was like 1 year younger than me, smaller than me, but he was more faster than me as far as in Baton Rouge and being across the track. Now at this point, wasn't no Boosie. It was Donkey. And it was Bronson a little bit, but it was mainly Donkey because Donkey was hooking up with people doing it. And that's how you got your name outside of your circle, So, Donkey was known for hooking up with other people doing it instead of just across the track. So, in the game room, he would have to have an iron. And I always thought it was crazy because his gun was always as bigger than him. And he had it in there with him,
Yeah.
Because at the game room, it was for us, by us. So, when you were in heat, like some kind of way, like the dope man will let you in with your iron because he know you got it for protection. You know what I'm saying? So, and it'll get to the point in the game room where niggas got their guns out. You're like a CeeLo song, come on, I'm what, come on. Niggas got their guns out, wanna be a gangster, wanna be niggas looking like, bro, really, yeah, this what it's hitting for, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, little Rouge in them, 4 5s, in there. Yeah, bro, like, definitely. Don't have to hold it down.
So you met Donk at the game room era. When would you say that you actually first start dealing with the Boosies? Would it like around that time, around the game room era, or would it be later on in life?
I had to went like you say, like Donk had to went and did what he did and came back, and Boo had emerged. But it was like say for instance, Boo went through CeeLo and Frog without Donk.
Yeah.
So when Donk got out, he was like, shit, this my little cousin. I don't give a fuck what y'all got going on. This my little cousin. So that's kind of sort of how they was moving. And by then I had to met him and got cool, and like I said, I was the rawest nigga in jail, so.
I used the rawest nigga in the mother. And I ain't gonna lie, my nigga, to this day, motherfucker can't take nothing from the lyrics that you spitting, dog. You hard. I didn't I didn't witness you kill them boys on tracks. I done witnessed it. So, I mean, ain't no shade on that, cause I love all of them. I love all y'all, bruh. But man, like, lyrically, I can't think of too many. I would have thrown it in the air, like, that boy Gates be spitting. But when you came out and said what you said, like, I mean, man, hands down, I mean, man, I took my hat to you, bro. You've been doing your thing for a long time. You've been spitting hard for a long time.
And I think about that too, because, like, rappers get faded, And I be like, like, I wish a rapper would try to fade me.
Straight up.
I don't care who it is, because you only gonna help me. Because to fade me, you gotta get on side of me. You gotta do what I can do, or you gotta give me an opportunity to use the tools you got to fade me. So like some of them, like Gates. Now, I would have said that Gates probably would have been. He stood a chance to be better than me. Stood a chance to be better than me. But due to the fact that he never gave me the opportunity to see, I feel like he know that he's not better than me.
I'm gonna tell you this here, and this just from my perspective, and it don't mean too much. But from my perspective, knowing that he looked up to your rhymes, you know what I'm saying? You can't even compare it after that.
You're right.
That's what solidified it for me.
And see, that's why I say that. I wouldn't have just said that if he didn't acknowledge me.
Yeah.
But you acknowledged me. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I was your favorite rapper, but. It's like, well, you can't have a favorite rapper just for clout. You know what I'm saying? You have to, or I'm gonna honor you, or I'm gonna get on a song with you, or I'm gonna get a tattoo of you, or I'm gonna do something. I ain't gonna just say, I kind of felt used. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if it was something I could have did for him, I would have. But I was in a bad situation, and I didn't want to put him in a bad situation.
And I'm gonna tell you something, bro, that's well respected these days, because you got people that'll tag you along and hold you back because they don't want to say what you did. You just went on about your business. You let him go on and do his thing. But I'm gonna tell you, bro, that's well respected, because look at his career now. If you wouldn't have did that, if he was tagging along at the time, like you say, you wasn't able to help, bro. That's
if I would have took him to Trill, he would have got a bad situation just like everybody else.
Facts.
And he was willing to go because he was just a young man with a dream.
And that's all it takes.
And I was his idol at that point. So I'm looking at it like, well, you gotta come from the trenches. You gotta come from the mud to even acknowledge me like that. So I get it, So, he gave me his whole rhyme and everything, and I was like, yeah, you got it. But unfortunately, we both at Big London house. Big London the man, not me. We both here. So I don't know if you here for a little help, but I come here for help all the time. Big London looked out for me plenty of time. Like my brother, I love Big London. Like some of these dudes be rapping about, I really be like in real life, street life relationships with them dudes. They don't have nothing to do with music. The music, like a lot of people don't even consider me a rapper in Baton Rouge. They won't let my ties go. Because they say, okay, when it comes to rap, he's actually good. He's actually the but the rest of his life is tore up. So we'll acknowledge everything else about him before we acknowledge that. You know, and I'm like, well, you know what? I was that good. I could have made, you know, got plaques and did shit for the city. You know, the whole, you know, everybody, the radio stations, all that. And I'm like, I never seen, like in Detroit, if I could have got past the Young Boys Incorporated and the Untouchables and, you know, the Epidemics and all that, man, I would have been it, bro, because they would have did it in Detroit. It's no, like, that's the type of environment it was. They had people that was investing and wanting to try this, and that's how all the rappers popped up. But here, man,
you gotta get it how you live, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Man. Cause I ain't lying, bro. You wrong. I'm still, the game done changed so much, bro. I'm still trying to get past, you know, things. I'm trying to get rewarded for what I have done, let alone what I will do. So you don't think you've been rewarded for what you've done?
No, indeed.
Come on, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm behind the camera. I'm a cameraman, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not in this area. I'm a little bit to the east of you, but bruh, people up my way respect Bighead the
I'm not
Dome.
talking about.
You talking about nationwide?
Respect and rewards are two different things.
I got you. I
got the respect.
I got you.
I got the notoriety. I got the acceptance, the accountability. I got all that. But it's just about the props, the points.
I got you.
You know, the payment. You know, like all the good things that come with working, because like I'm a king. I'm not a boss.
Facts.
You know, like I never wanted to be the boss.
You'll see CEO of my music.
Yeah, right. And that's because I have to be. And that's because I as a worker, you know, when you're the CEO and the artist and the producer and the director and the choreographer and, you know, like everything. So you have to. But that's a worker. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a good worker for a boss. But see, it's like, it's hard for a boss to hire a king. Because a king has his own castle and his own, you know, way of thinking. But he still will be one of the best workers you got. But it's like, you don't want nobody with their own mind. That's how people don't expand. That's how you don't take it to the next level. Just last night I had a show, Fox and women. You know? It's like, you know, like I can take the initiative and pull this thing together. You know, just from still being hungry. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to leave them, you know, to the point to where, okay, even if they ain't that hungry, even if they do feel like, you know, I had a good run. Nah, because, you know, it's about longevity. You know, I look on Instagram and see DJ Curtis Blow or whatever his name is, you know, the originator rapper, and, you know, even people like Big L, and, you know, none of them die. Even the dead ones don't die. Even Dougie Fresh get 5 shows a month, you know?
Facts.
Like, they don't let each other go. They don't let, you know, beneficial situations just lay there. They don't do that. No, man, you'll hear Nas and Fabulous and them forever.
Facts.
You know, like, But in BR, it's different.
I see what you're saying. I see
You know,
exactly
like,
what you're saying.
like in California, like they don't look at Snoop like it's just up and up. Look at Dre, up and up. You know, like more and more people, they open up the door. They don't close it. They don't let people get a whiff and then shut them out. No, you see what Snoop did? I want Daz. I want Corrupt. I probably want Spice One and all these other people too.
Facts.
You know, like because we know that's if I don't do it, the internet gonna do it. You know, like they gonna get that switch gonna get hit on them some kind of way. So it's like, man, you better go on and try to help while you can, man. I don't get it.
Hey, that's facts, bro. At the end of the day, that's all facts. Boy, hey, you hit me with that one. Hey, man, you hit me with that one.
It be a hard fight, bro. Hard fight.
hey, that's facts though, bro. I feel where you coming from because at the end of the day, bro, well, like it ain't no reason you shouldn't be doing the show at least every weekend.
Right.
It ain't no reason. It ain't no reason. So at the end of the day, do you think it'll ever be? We gonna say a Trill ENT, and I know you're not gonna sign back over there, but you, Boosie, Webby, and Fox, do you think it'll ever be like y'all boys go out there and go do a tour again and y'all, you know?
I think so. I think if somebody else behind it, you know, with money, liability, and all that, and it can be, you know, it can be balanced right. I think so, but I just don't think that the chemistry, like, it's more about, like, say for instance, who calls the shots, who says what is what. Now, if it's about everybody playing their position and getting paid, no problem. Everything gonna go fine. But if it's about a plan and everybody's supposed to do this and this got to go like this, and it ain't gonna work. So
basically, everybody really need to be their own boss and call their own shots at the end of the day. Like basically, you put up what you would like to happen. This person put up what they would like to happen. This person will put up like what they want.
They'll just have to have somebody with the right amount of money and the right amount of authority and the right amount of accountability and responsibility to be able to tell us all what to do at the same time.
I got you.
That's it. Like, you know, we don't mind doing what we supposed to do, getting the job done. You know, but it's the cohabitation, the camaraderie, the helping each other, the holding each other down. The problem with the part where the problem come in at because of, you know, the history. You know, like see, I always kept it real and always kept it 100 with each and every last one of them. Like, you know, I never did nothing behind their back. I never did nothing wrong or nothing flawed or talked behind their back or took nothing while they wasn't looking or nothing. I always said I have to be 100 with this situation. And I always was loyal to them as an individual. Like, I was loyal to Boo. I knew how to be loyal to Boo and Webby at the same time. And Fox. And Trill. You know what I'm saying? And Phat. And Lil Trill. You know, I know how to be loyal to everybody at the same time and still, you know, have a personal relationship with everybody. You know?
I got you. So let me ask you this, how did you feel when you first got signed to Trill? Like, I understand that you might you was dealing with Boosie a little bit and Webby a little bit before you got signed to Trill, right? Or would you?
I want to say I was dealing with Boosie for sure. Well, I mean, this how it went. Boosie said that Trill was for him. And he got my attention the first go round. And he was like, he had a studio downtown. And now this was off the rebound when Doc gave him my CD. And he said he had a studio downtown and to come record with him. So I came. And now at this point, I think Loke's in jail. But you know, Trill ain't really got him yet, or they do, but I don't know. But Loke's in jail, so it sounds believable that he's finna do his own thing, regardless if he got the money behind it or not. You know, I know his name was good, so I'm like, cool. So we did a couple songs that night, and then maybe a year or two passed. You know, because I probably had went to jail because, like, after that night, I wanted some money. Like, after that night, it's like, okay, we finna get serious. So, you know, I done already recorded some songs to show what I do now. Next time, I want some money. So, you know, I had to got in trouble, a few years passed, and then, like, I want to say that might have happened twice because, like, I signed a contract twice. And I thought the first time was good enough, but I guess the first contract was like a little local contract for just, you know, Trill, but the second contract they had got, you know, nationwide deals. So
you was actually going nationwide with Trill, actually performing, right?
Right.
Okay.
I did promo with Webby. We went around the whole.
Yeah, went around the whole.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you something, because I see a lot of people, and we just gonna throw California in the loop, but they got a lot of people talking about tapping in with all these different people when you go to all these different cities. How did that work out for y'all? Like, when y'all went city to city, did y'all really tap in with like individuals, or did y'all just go to those cities and perform? Did y'all ones and twos and went it on there? I
mean, you know, it was really one link, and that was the radio. The radio was the one who promoted your concert as far as when you went to somebody's city. So, you know, when you get to the city, you still hear the commercial on the radio. Yeah, no, coming, woo, woo. So it wasn't no Instagram or no Facebook or none of that to just see your every move, where you at, how you moving, boom, boom, boom. Nah, you had to see later, you know. So it basically, you know, we didn't check in with nobody in that.
Okay.
You know, we
so just say
what we did.
So just say you went to, we just gonna say North Carolina. We just gonna say North Carolina. When y'all did a show in North Carolina, whenever y'all went to North Carolina, did y'all mess with like individuals out there to move around that city to get what you wanted and what you needed throughout the city?
See, we was always programmed to do what we had to do and get on down.
I got you.
So, you know, we you know, like if we got some smoke or whatever, like 9 times out of 10, we'll get that link through the people who putting the show together, whatever. So we wasn't really trying to go in people hood and all that, because
I got you.
We was really hood.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, we could have really got in trouble or got into something. So
yeah.
We wasn't doing all that. We wasn't looking for no niggas nowhere.
Thanks.
It was just broad. That was it.
Okay. So, when you was with Trill Entertainment, we're gonna speak about Lil Phat. Man. Just want to say rest in peace to Lil Phat. How close was you to Lil Phat before that incident happened, man?
Well, I was closer to Lil Phat than I was closer than any of them.
Huh?
Yeah, because
that's God. Okay.
Because Phat was like, me and Phat come from really the same hood, the same street. Like right now, my mama stay right here, his grandmother stay right here. So, you know, like, we come from that. Like, I watched him be not born, but, you know, I knew his mom before he was born and his whole family and, you know, things like that. And I would say we got further away with the music. even though he was one of the reasons why I stayed, because he was telling me he was gonna make it right. He was like, Bighead, I'm gonna make it right for you. I'm gonna be able to do it for you in a minute. If it don't work out for you like it's supposed to, I'm gonna make it work out for you. Because he was like, because he knew that he came in, and once he got in, I was really irrelevant. Because he was like, they was like, okay, we'll take Phat now, and you know, he from the same street as Bighead, you know, like, so we'll just, you know, do a few moderations and boom, there you go. And you know, the more that would have went, who knows how it would have turned out.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But he still was like, you know, bro, however it turned out, I got you. You know that. You know, and I'm like, okay, cool, but.
So how did you feel the night that you actually heard when that happened? Because I ain't gonna lie, bruh. You know, when I heard that, bruh, it hurt me to my soul. How did you feel when you heard the news what happened to Phat in Atlanta, Georgia?
Well, in the hood, it went through the hood 4 or 5 different stories. So, you know, it's like you couldn't actually, like with me, I had done lost 50, 60 people closer to me than him. You know, because he come up under me. So I felt it for his family. And, you know, from knowing him. But as of loss, it wasn't like that emotional. But it was like dealing with it in the hood. Dealing with his mom, his grandmother. And, you know, they looking at it like, you know, y'all took away our only hope. You know, and I'm looking at it like, I'm not even with them no more. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still in the hood, and you know, they looking at it like, well, yeah, you is, you know, and I'm like, I'm really not, you know? And they like, well, you can say what you want to say, but you know, we kind of bitter with you too, you know?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's the way we kind of looked at it up our way.
Yeah.
Because we know all y'all, you know, really messed around the way y'all was messing around, and to keep it a dollar with you, bro. That's the way we looked at it too.
But we would have took it, see, like around my way and me and how we was feeling, we would have took it to Atlanta. Like,
I got you.
That's what we was at with.
Yeah, I got you.
Because you know we in the hood, you know what I'm saying? But you know, as far as the music side and you know the appropriate way about going about doing things, it was a whole different story. And like I said, the people that were supposed to be with him were from the hood, so they blaming it on them too. They blaming it on everybody but what really happened, because they wasn't thinking nothing like that would happen. So they blaming the people that was with him. They blaming, you know, people that he associate with. They blaming everybody but the right people, you know. So,
Thanks.
so that's what was tearing us up in the hood, because, like, you know, I knew that, like, his family, they had started, you know, living better, you know, and I was looking at it like, well, we gonna save our hood because we got me and him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna be all right. And it didn't get to that. It never got to that. Like, he didn't get a chance to do nothing for his mom and his grandmother and them, and you know, not nothing to where it can last and last and last. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, I don't know if it was because of, you know, he was young, or you know, how his money was set up, it wasn't coming to him, or what, I don't know. But you know, he really didn't get a chance to, you know, like, me or him couldn't make no difference for our hood with the Trill thing, and we were supposed to be able to.
I got you. So you signed with Trill at the age of 25. What age was you at when whenever you left Trill?
I don't know, but I want to say
Like how many years?
Probably was in 2007 or 8.
So probably about what, 3 years
What?
that you was with Trill?
I probably was with Trill since probably 2002.
2000. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking 2004 you signed with Trill.
See, that's why I say like I had went to jail a couple times.
I got
See,
you.
like wasn't no music out.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I was there when I
got
was
you.
there. It was just me and Boo. Like it was just
Yeah.
then me. And then it became. I noticed it was Q
Yeah.
and Webby.
Yeah.
And then like I went back to jail, and then I got out, and then it was then popped up. You know what I'm saying? And Youngster, and you know like. But every time somebody popped up, I was like, you know, hold up, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, but I wasn't tripping. Like once they told me what was going on, okay, cool, come on, big bro, come on, big bro, let's do it.
I got you.
You know.
So whenever you left Trill and you start doing your own thing, man, did you feel like it was better being with a major label, or did you feel like it was better being independent from far as your experience of dealing with Trill?
Man, it was like with me, it still never felt like nothing never happened. It felt like everything ever done, I done on my own, except now. Now, I feel like when I see how everybody else's situation plays out, I realize the impact that I left dealing with Trill. Like I did make a mark.
Oh, you made a mark, my dog.
You know,
man.
but see, the thing was, my mark didn't get no clarity. So I couldn't see it. You know, it was like, okay, we're not gonna put your name on nothing. You know, we just gonna, you know, see how that's gonna go. So without you being there, it's like you don't got nothing to do with it. So it was like a lot of that. And with that, it's like you'll feel like, okay, like like say for instance, I might talk to Webby about he made it, you know? And he might tell me, oh, I ain't make it. And I'm like, what you mean? You had a #1 song, you know, you had, you know, videos on TV, you had groupies, you had money, you know, and I'm right here with you and didn't have nothing. So it's like, but somebody that don't know my situation to look at me and be like, well, you made it. You know, so I just try to be humble about it and just keep pushing.
I feel you.
But I be wanting to tell people like sometimes like I'll let somebody know quick. Like I have to. I wouldn't have said this 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years ago. I wouldn't have said it. But I have to say this now because I made it to this point. Like, and people be wanting to know, like, okay, like, I ain't see 20,000 from Trill. I ain't see 10, you know? Like, and that's nothing. You feel me? Like, I done gave people that. I done got people out of jail for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, you know, and to say that you can't just, like, we brothers. You supposed to give me that anyway. Be cool. Here you go. Be cool, man. Don't say nothing. Here. But instead, I get to voice my opinion about everything. My opinion count. My direction count. I can talk to Boo. I can talk to Webb. I can talk to Fox. I can talk to everybody. You know, chill, be cool, man. Let's do it. Woo, woo, come together. Calm down, man. Woo, 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 woo. You know, I could do all this. But I'm like, let me get the reward for it, though. Honor me for it. Let me show my family that I'm worth something. You know, let's not this not be a dream. Let's let this be reality. I live in reality. My music is reality. So why am what come behind it or with it can't be reality? You know? Why I gotta still be living in dreamland when it comes to owning a house and owning this and, you know, getting this for my son or my daughter? You know, why I gotta still be, you know, planning that when I'm supposed to be executing all that, you know? So it's like, give up. How I'm gonna give up if this all I know and then I'm this late in the game, you know, and I got a little help with the internet, so it's like, you know, stay with it. You know, be you, do your thing. If you leave it, you got nothing. But, you know, it's like, for what? To get used up? You know, like sometimes I get offended feeling used, you know what I'm saying? Because I come from nothing. You know, how can you use somebody that come from nothing? You should have compassion. You know, I don't want no sympathy. I don't look for sympathy. I don't give sympathy. So I don't look for sympathy. It's just about, like I say, man, I'll break my back for you. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know it been plenty nights, bro. Like, say for instance, Asylum in Atlantic, they owe me. Because it was they A&Rs that was getting me stuck out. It was they A&Rs calling me saying, come help Webby, come do this. Webby finna do. The A&Rs almost turned me into security.
Damn.
And it's different A&Rs in different cities. But they selling me dreams. Oh yeah, bro, Asylum say woo woo da 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 woo 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 woo. Then we get to another city. Here come another goofy from somewhere else talking about, oh, I'm the A&R for such and such, and he hang with us the whole time while we might go through 3 cities with him in his region. And then boom, when we catch the plane and we land, there was another A&R. But they always got somebody with you to watch what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like to watch the money. You know, but the people around them, they willing to stick them out. You know, and I went through all types of shit dealing with them felonious A&Rs. You know, saying Bighead, gassing me up. And then once the situation with Trill simmered, it was over. Nobody knew me. Like, you know, like, went from getting in the club, VIP, able to smoke through the back, to wait in line, get shook down, can't get in, overcharged, dress code, you know. Like, I'm the same nigga.
Yeah, straight up, facts.
But that's you know, that's what make me. That's what make me rich. That's what make me superior. That's what make me, you know, elite. When you try to play me like that, when you know that, you know, I can rubber band from the mud to the moon. You know, you can honor me with the greats, or you can, you know, disgrace me with the scum. It don't make me no difference.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to be compensated.
That's a fact. Well, shit, man, bro, you done laid it down out here tonight, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You laid it down. I appreciate everything that you done for me tonight. You know, as far as with this interview, man, this done been raw. This done been uncut. I would like to speak to you and let you know, is there anything that you would like to put out there on my platform, you know, that's going on in your life right now? I know you got Out the Mud going on.
I would definitely say, like, you know, my heart is with Not On My Watch, a non-profit organization that I have, you know, for cohabitation among humanity, for everybody, you know, meaning we can all get along with some structure, you know. So I like to work on that, you know. It's based off reality. in helping people. I got hip hand-me-downs, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I can reach up high for the low people, and I can reach down low for the high people and connect the hands, and, you know, everybody help everybody. So, you know, like, I like to get into that. And then, you know, it's more so like, I got a shop 1670 out clothing line, you know what I'm saying? Been with me a long time. Lace me up with this jacket, got, you know, a lot of my album covers out. And they ain't all Trill, you know, he got some Out the Mud covers.
Out the Mud.
And, you know, I respect that, you know what I'm saying? Because he letting me know that I acknowledge what you've done as your own self.
As
so,
an individual.
Yeah,
Facts.
so, you know,
Out
like
the Mud
that.
1 and 2.
And, you know, I got, you know, Facebook, Bighead the Dome Doctor, Instagram, Bighead the Dome Doctor. And, like, I just try to keep it real and keep it reality based. And, just let everybody know, like, you know, that I can't tell them not to give up, you know, because I want them to grow up. You know, I want them to accomplish and, you know, get past certain things in life. And I understand that I'm stuck in a time warp to where I have to keep trying to make this rap thing work. But hopefully, you know, with the internet and, you know, me knowing all I know, I can put something together and actually get something out the deal where I can reward myself and reward my family, and I can take some of my ideas and put them to use instead of just, you know, trying to, you know, establish things with other people, because it be me that they have a problem with. It don't be my ideas. It don't be like, you know, me being, you know, the brains. It's just about me being the front runner, or me being the one being able to call the shots, or me being the, you know, I don't know, I guess they don't want the ugly nigga to be, you know, I guess you got to look a certain way, you know, I don't know, bro.
I disagree with that, man. You've been doing it lyrically and spiritually for a long time, bro. And I'm going to tell you something, on your latest, I don't know whether to call it a mixtape or an album, but that Poe,
yeah, Mud Pressure.
That Mud Pressure 2, oh man, that thing, that is ridiculous.
And I mean, and I appreciate it, but it was basically like when 627, like he said that he wanted to honor me with some tracks that he thought were global, you know? He said, I want to give you some tracks that got a little more than just the BR, you know, and that way, hopefully, it can help carry you, you know, and you can help me and I can help you. So I'm like, you know, I just you know, like, say, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, my best work is yet to come, because I know my worth.
Facts.
So if somebody even get close to my worth and say, here, boy, I mean, like, I know I'm up there in age, so I don't think that I would young boy them right now, but I have a whole lot to tell. I have a whole lot, bro. Like, I can give you 3 or 4 CDs of uncut content you probably never heard. Like, I can make a CD. Like, I was gonna do a CD called Rouge just because, to get a little bit more Detroit and Baton Rouge united, you know? I was gonna just put that together just because, like, I got struggle stories for days, man. Like, and that's a whole different type of music.
Facts.
You know, but that's why I made that Poe, because, like, people be ashamed of that. Especially when they done made it past that and don't have to be there no more. And I'm like, nah, like, I want y'all to know that, because I ain't going back to that. You know, and I salute everybody who, you know, want to get up and get out and do something, because, like, some people don't have no inheritance or no family. Like I didn't have nobody that ever gave me nothing. Like that's why I said like if they did, I said because I'm an appreciative person. And like say for instance, you tell me if 8,000-9,000 would cover the work that I put in that Trill. You tell me.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Dude, you deserve way. I'm thinking in my head, you in the 6 figures range.
Yeah, see
when
that's
you was
what,
with
see,
when
yeah,
you was
see, that's
with
what I'm
Trill.
saying. And see, you know, that's with any artist.
Yeah.
You know, you would think that, you know, that they would have some, you know, proceeds from what they do. But when you look at it, it's like, dude didn't even really get a shot when you look at it. But dude went hard though.
Oh, you went bananas, bro.
So just imagine if he would have got a shot. Just imagine if they would have heard the Bighead, the Dome Doctor CD that Trill got. Just imagine if that would have came out.
Facts.
You know, like, just imagine if they, see, like, and I'm going to say this too, this is exclusive. When I said I take suckers' thrones, I was talking about T.I. Because I watched T.I. do his thing.
Facts.
I watched him go from barely being heard, barely being talked about, to saying he the king on the throne. Why I'm being bamboozled. So I did see like Adios I had a street verse on Adios at first.
Yeah.
Old black ass, grimy ass, roguish ass street nigga, you'd up, tooled up, been about beef nigga. It kind of sort of went like that. But it was like I take niggas' stones and you know all that. I take suckers and all that part was out. You know I cleaned it up a little bit with that.
Yeah.
But I was going for T.I. then. So that just goes to show you what my mind was.
Straight up, that's a fact.
Yeah, like, and I don't know if that's why they told me to clean that verse up or what, but man, Webby bumped into T.I. in Dallas, and T.I. poked his chest out, and I respected it. Because he didn't even look like the type of nigga to poke his chest out to us. But he did. And he ripped that bitch too, like by himself. And he went first. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, so you can tell at this point in time he wasn't the king yet. Because he opened up for us, even though this was some type of big old thing in Dallas. But you know, with buku people there. But he came out. Like he had to come through to the room we was in to come off stage. So when he come in there, he come in with his shirt off, probably weighed 100 pounds, but he looked like he was weighing 300 pounds.
Hey,
he was
straight
sweating,
up, straight
and
up.
you know he was on his tippy toes pretty much, and he had his chest poked out,
Right.
and I want to say he had a polo shirt, like this nigga had on either Levi's or something, and a polo shirt. Like he was, you know, it was him, but when he came out, he just looked at us, and he might have spoke or he might have didn't. But I knew he threw his shirt across his shoulder, and he like, I know I ripped that. And he went on about his business. And I was like, you know, I respected that. I admired that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I knew he was on the come up. And then before you know it, he was like, I'm the king. And I'm like, oh, is that easy? I been thought I was the king already, just,
Thanks.
you know, sitting back waiting. And I'm like, oh, it's that easy? I'm like, I know he can't, you know, bruh, all they gotta do is just say challenge. That's it, challenge. That's all. That's all you gotta do. I don't care who you is. Just say challenge. Challenge my integrity. Challenge my creativity. Challenge my lyrics. Challenge my flow if you want. Go ahead. I challenge Big and Pop them for breakfast. You know, like as far as in they work, you know? Like I might take their song and take every bar they made and make a bar harder with the same flow, with the same, you know, type of energy, just to challenge, you know? And I'd be like, oh, that was simple.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, Bighead, the dome doctor
Oh,
is
it's dangerous.
spit them
2 minutes
flames.
hang with me. Really don't need no gang with me. Label me, man, say, bro. Man. Bro, like when I say bro, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it like I say, bro. And like big, like Notorious Big, I would say I look up to Notorious Big because from number one, he was all flow.
Fact.
It wasn't about looks.
Nothing.
You know, he was all flow.
That's it.
And see, like I said, up north, they don't discriminate on shit. They see opportunity and dollar signs, they go at it. Now, the bad thing about it is, Big probably didn't get it. And they had him as the best rapper, you know, in the game. Like, you supposed to have plaques and monuments and statues and, you know, schools and, you know, your family's supposed to be well off. They supposed to honor you, you know, the big festival, all that, you know. But, you know, it's just like smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I believe in honor though. Like, so.
All right, Bighead, I got one more question for you to end this here, man. Top 5 rappers, dead or alive, out the South. Top 5 rappers out the South.
Top 5 rappers out the South, dead or alive. Well, it might be hard, it might be easy, but you say out the South.
Out the South.
So,
Down South drip, baby.
I'm going to have to say Scarface. Got to say him. Now, number 1, I don't know, but he close to being number 1. So, Scarface. No, bro.
Ooh, I know I ain't hurt you like that, man. Come on, man.
I mean, because I believe in creativity, you know? Like,
Yeah, I feel you on
and
that.
originality, you know?
I feel you on that.
I can't even name nobody that came after nobody.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, I'm not naming no group, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I like, say for instance, like I want to say Juvie, you know? I want to put Juvie in there because his creativity and his originality, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you know, when you say the best, you know, like, man, look, let me, I don't want to.
Ooh, I done heard Bighead the Dome Doctor.
Man, did I say Scarface already?
Yeah, you got Scarface. That's the first one.
Oh,
You say possibly Juvie.
Man, bro, they got some talent down south.
They do. They really do.
And it's like, you know, it's really, you have to rate it off credentials when it comes to, you know, who would be the best, because, you know, some of the best, when you look at it from talent. So when you say the best, what you mean by the best? The best lyricist, the best successful?
I'm gonna say,
you know?
your top 5 people that kind of influenced you. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna put it like this here. I will say in my head, I throw my top 5 out from the South just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm saying.
Right.
Like number one, I gotta give it to old Magnolia, old Soulja Slim.
Right. Right.
Number two, I'ma roll with Boosie, bro.
Right.
Cause you know Boosie been in it for so long, and man, I'ma keep it real with you. When Boosie was coming up in the game, man, Boosie had my attention since I was in junior high. I think,
Right.
you know, Boosie 1 year older than me. So I'm gonna throw Boosie out there. Number three, I gotta go with BG.
Right.
Number four, I got to give it to my dog, Bighead, the Dome
Right.
Doctor.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And number five round, that's where it get kind of iffy at. I give it to somebody like Trick Daddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in my head, that's why I'm at with it. Because when I was younger, I was influenced into the gangster rap type. You know, I was influenced in that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I can say one thing out of the South, you are one of the most lyrical people I've heard come out the South. If you mention your name, you can't just mention your name with just any name. You gotta throw your name out there with like a Andre 3000. You spit that game. The reason I like you so much, cause like you say, reality rap, but at the same time, man, you talking that talk.
See,
like you say, reality rap.
And see, like your five, like I get it, and that's why I was in there, because all those five were almost in the same section with music.
That's a fact.
You know, but see, with me, I don't really look at it like that.
I got you.
You know, like, I mean, bro, I like Master P. You know.
Oh, he a dog. I ain't gonna lie, he a dog.
Like, you know, he was saying, like, he said what needed to be said on his songs. Like he was the reality rapper at that point. You know. So you know, I like the Master P. You know. And Scarface, he definitely was a reality rapper.
For sure.
But see, this is another thing though. Like, I learned not to be biased because I know that they have bias in rap. Like, say for instance, like you broke your rappers down to fit your profile. Now, me or you might have not said nothing about a bright-skinned nigga the whole time.
Yeah.
Because we already know that that won't be a reason why me or you got here. And I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah.
But that's basically the science. You know, like certain people put certain people on, and certain people deal better with certain people, and certain people pull for more people and embrace them a different kind of way. You know, you can embrace me. You know, we have a connection outside of everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we compatible. You feel what I'm saying? See, people that's not compatible, you don't look at their flow. You know, like Mac. Mac was a good rapper.
Oh, that boy, that was a
But
dog. Mr.
at
Magic.
the same time, though, you know, and he had to, you know, go through all what he went through.
Yeah.
But you know, he still get looked over because his persona is there by itself. He don't have no persona of his type of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, like say for instance with Boosie. CeeLo put you on, Boosie.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It took a man that looked like you. It took someone that said, okay, I'm not tripping on if the broad like me or like you or woo 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 woo. I'm not tripping on that because I feel comfortable with making this move with you. Some people won't feel uncomfortable. Like you won't get embraced right in this crowd, but you'll get embraced right with this crowd. So you won't see Kevin Hart putting old high yellow ass comedian on, but he'll put Tiffany Haddish on. He'll put somebody else on that's not too appealing because he know I'm not trying to give off no appeal. I want to be the appealingest person in the room. But when it comes to putting on, I got to put somebody on, but I'm not going to go on the other side of the room. Like with Drake, like with him, like you don't see a dark-skinned guy with Drake. You don't.
No.
And it's not by fault. It's not that he's racist or he color struck or nothing like that. It's just about, you know, the camera and business and a flower and a flower pot. You know what I'm saying? It's not a, you know, you have to have some type of camaraderie already there for to make it. But just think like the guy pulled up on it going up. You know, you're a high yellow guy, you go all the way.
Facts.
You know, but you know, you and Pusha T can't get along. I guess not.
Hey, facts. Hey, look, I got one more question to end this here, bro. And I'm gonna go on to end this right here. I got one song, you, Boosie, and Weapon, that you absolutely murdered it. And it goes something like this. And my question to you is, did you breathe one time when you did this song? You say, see Bighead rock black with the get cocked back and the fat rock sack about to take the block back. Try to hate or stop that, then you getting popped that. Mercedes make the made back, so I gotta cop that. So be cool, lay back, nigga. Hold your grudge, hold your nuts, hold your breath, but Bighead won't budge. See, that's why I died.
Like the judge.
He just said leave it wet like the Crips and Bloods. I associate with certain niggas, but I ain't friendly. In the South been murking niggas, so it's just in me. They always smoking weed and popping and it's getting me skinny. You can clown if you want, then I'm sounding the semi. Did you breathe? Or did you do any styles, or did you go in that bitch and just run it?
I just ran that one.
You ran that for real, for real?
I was excited.
God damn. I had to ask one of my rounds. He be doing some rapping and shit, bro. I say, man, how in the did he do that like that? So I wanted to always ask you straight up, did you just go in there and just run that bitch?
I just ran that one. I was hype on that one. That was one of the first ones I did with Boosie and Webby when I got out, and you know, they was kind of like doing something.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, I had to fit in. I had to show Webby, yeah, I'm really hee. So, you know, sorry for going to jail on you, the disappointment. I'm back, and you know, that came out. But I want to get these top 5 rappers out because you did ask me that question.
Ooh, let me get
answer it. So I'm gonna just try to go fast. So I'm gonna go with Scarface, Juvenile, Master P, Boosie, me. I'm gonna just.
That's what I'm talking about. We gonna lay that down like that then. I got to salute you, because that's a hell of a top 5. Keep it real with you. Man, I appreciate you coming in here and showing me the love that you done showed me. I'm going to ask you one more time before we get out of here. Is there anything else that you would like to shout out before we get out of here, man? I appreciate you coming to deal with me. It's
well,
on
I mean, you know, down south drip, and you know, I'm glad, I'm obliged to be a part of the movement, you know what I'm saying?
First interview.
And I want to say, you know, like, you know, rest in peace to, you know, people in my community, in my environment that's dying from, you know, drugs, fentanyl, fake drugs. And I tell them, you know, in my days, we didn't have fake drugs. We didn't have drugs that people man-made drugs. You know what I'm saying? They might have had chemists, but wasn't nobody trying to hurt nobody, slip nothing nobody. It wasn't all about just, you know, hate. So You know, I just want people to realize that, you know, like, you know, your life, you only get one life. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to the people who doing drugs that need to stop, and, you know, stop if you can, and, you know, get control of yourself. And, you know, the rappers, I want to say rest in peace to them. And, you know, they need to stop, you know, going against each other and start helping each other and help each other's family, you know. And, you know, I want to give people an insight where the gang activity come from, because they seem lost. And now they got gangs in every city, every state, every hood, even in the little country towns. Well, I got some news for y'all. The gangs come from roadblocks, which transforms into Fortnite, which transform into Black Ops, which transform to real ops. So the same kids that's in there in that room with your children playing the game, that's the gang forming right there. And they put the controllers down and they pick the guns up. 9 times out of 10, they've been and bought the guns and all that, got them for their birthday or something, been a good kid, playing this game their whole life. But just those people that's in there on the headphones with them, that they playing that game with, one of them really out there drilling. And that's where it started. And that's where the gangs start from. So, you know, monitor your children who they playing them games with, even if it's roadblocks, because that's where the little crews start, where they can contact each other on the phone or whatever else, and then it goes to Fortnite. And I'm not trying to single nobody game out. I just want y'all to know where these gangs are being created from so early without nobody detecting them. They come from those video games. And they just gang up, and they get older and older, and they go from Call of Duty Black Ops to real ops and real guns. So, you know, like, monitor that. Stay, you know, away from that. Keep your kids away from that if you can. And I want to say rest in peace to Allison Rice. You know, a lady who was innocently gunned down in my neighborhood because she was stuck at the train in the middle of the night, not knowing she was in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give my partner Bubba a shout out. He lost his sister, Bird, who was a friend of mine. You heard me? Rest in peace, Bird. And the rest of my community. And this your boy Bighead the Dome Doctor, you heard me? In this down south drip. And I want y'all to make sure y'all check me out on Instagram, check me out on Facebook, all my upcoming movies. You know, my moves, Mud Pressure, my music, you know what I'm saying? Check that out. And you know, hopefully I'll be back here soon to give y'all some more game, lace y'all up some more, pull y'all coat like they used to say in Detroit. You heard me? Back.
Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. We out of here, down south drip.
Bet.